introduce you to my friend Himanshu Singh. Himanshu is with Broadcom. Himanshu, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having
me. Enjoying KubeCon so far?
Absolutely. Very exciting day one today.
Yes, it's been an energy, always a lot of energy
at
KubeCon.
Yeah.
Himanshu, before we get into, we've got a couple things we want to talk about. I want to spend a little time just letting our audience know a little bit about who you are, and so give them, if you don't mind, a little bit of your background.
Absolutely. So I am Director of Product Marketing at VMware by Broadcom, right? So my focus areas right now are around Kubernetes on VCF, which is our VMware Cloud Foundation offering, everything AI as well, and then also looking at our kind of cloud operations, cloud consumption capabilities. Used to be part of the old ARIA portfolio,
Sure.
Essentially, right? So a few of those things kind of very related areas to each other in terms of how consumption works in a private cloud. So happy to be working on that piece. I've been at VMware coming to 12 and a half, 13 years now. So
Wow.
lots of changes, but
So you would be at VMware before Broadcom.
Oh yeah,
You've seen a lot of changes.
I have seen a lot, and I have the scars to prove it.
I
Yes.
bet you do. I bet you do. A lot of people, well, look, in the software world, I think everyone knew VMware. And I think everyone knows that not everyone, I guess, but most people know VMware is now part of Broadcom. And Broadcom's a name, I think a lot of people know Broadcom by name, but they don't realize all of the things that Broadcom is part of. Without asking you to be the Broadcom spokesman, but you're going to be. Give us an idea of the different tentacles, if you will, the Broadcom.
Yeah, tentacles. That's interesting. It's less.
Well, an octopus is a very intelligent animal.
Very intelligent. Then let's just go with that, right? Yeah. So Broadcom actually right now consists of, I think, 26 different divisions.
Oh, I didn't realize there was
They
that many.
do operate as almost as independent businesses. So you have a lot of flexibility. Each kind of GM has a lot of flexibility in terms of just going to market as they were. So Broadcom's known in terms of more of a hardware company for a very long time.
Yes.
Massive hardware innovations, etc. I mean, but at the same time, in past, I want to say, close to a decade, they've went into software, very strongly to kind of really think in terms of, if you look at a hardware business, which is very kind of seasonal, there's this like press and troughs versus software brings kind of more stability. And I think that's what Hock Tan was thinking about in terms of, growing Broadcom beyond the hardware pieces. So you got, a few different pieces the Broadcom software group now has. And then, of course, VMware by Broadcom, probably the biggest acquisition in the industry when it happened in 2023 timeframe, 65,
I would say Broadcom, VMware or CA was a big buy too.
CA was big as well. CA was like 16 something.
But it was older, so you got to go by, if you put inflation on those numbers,
oh, that's true.
Probably is close.
Yeah. CA was a long time ago, and then of course,
I think that was the first big software.
Yes, absolutely. And so they started with that, and then they kind of got the flavor of it. And so then they went Symantec, they went VMware, etc. And VMware is a whole kind of different story, right? Because I think, the kind of ecosystem VMware brought with it for Broadcom, there was a huge amount of, I think, learning in terms of the Broadcom culture as well. And we're very fortunate to get like the support that Hock Tan has provided to VMware. There's been a lot of focus for sure.
Yeah.
VMware behaved very differently before, kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different groups. Versus now it's extremely focused. We got one key offering, which is VMware Cloud Foundation, and then really making sure that we're going after the private cloud, the value we're delivering, and building capabilities around it into VCF. And that's been doing like very well for VMware overall in terms of how.
Look, you've been in VMware. What'd you say? 13 years.
Close to 13 years now. Yeah.
I've been following VMware longer than that even, right? And if you look at the history of VMware, very interesting, right? For those of you out there, I'll give you a little history as I know it, right? It was kind of spun out of, actually it was started and then brought into EMC, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right, the original founding team there were a lot of hypervisors vying for the market space back then.
That time, yes.
The Red Hat one, there was some open source ones. But VMware it was very, at the time, everyone thought it was very lucky to get hitched into the EMC orbit.
Yeah.
And similar to Broadcom, it was basically kind of a hardware company. EMC was a hardware storage
It's all about
company.
storage, yeah.
And now all of a sudden they've got this hypervisor company. And I think it was a bit of a redheaded stepchild, if you will, because it wasn't core to what EMC did.
Then you're saying.
Then if now EMC goes and gets acquired by Dell,
Yeah.
another hardware company.
That's right. Although Dell would argue, like by the time they came to acquire,
Right,
they were a
that was,
software
well,
company.
again,
as well.
much like Broadcom,
Right.
they were transitioning
Yes.
to software
Yes.
to even out the cyclical hardware cycles.
Yeah.
Then Dell goes private,
Yeah.
spins out. I think they spun VMware out, and it was the first time that
That's
VMware was truly, truly independent
That is
since
true.
it was first
That's true. Yeah.
formed. That's
Yeah.
probably around
It's
when
been-
you joined, or
Now, so I joined back in 2013.
so that was still Dell or EMC?
Yeah, that was EMC.
Okay.
So it was EMC, then Dell came in 2016, I
Right.
believe, and a whole bunch of things through that. And then, of course, VMware became a spun out independent company. I think we might have been technically independent for like 6 months.
Right.
And then Broadcom kind of made the announcement
And
of
so
the
it's
acquisition.
an amazing thing.
Yes.
No one's ever let VMware just be VMware.
It is extremely valuable in terms of the
I think
IP
everyone-
that VMware has and the
Well, it's
install
also
base.
the market share, right?
Oh, yeah.
VMware, though, as we said, there are a lot of open source hypervisors and public cloud hypervisors and so forth. VMware is the hypervisor, right? It has been and
Absolutely.
continues to be. Now, Broadcom bought it, and there was all kinds of rumors and feelings about what that meant for VMware. But as you said, I think Hock Tan surprised a lot of people in that he didn't treat it like CA.
Yes.
He didn't treat it like some of the other software acquisitions. I think because for the same reason Dell and EMC, they recognize that you got a diamond here,
Yes.
right? You can't, you got to shine it up. You can't
Absolutely.
try to break. You don't want to,
No.
you're not a diamond cutter.
Absolutely.
And so it's had a reflowering, if you will,
Yeah,
with
that's a good
Broadcom.
word, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that is, look, we all talk about license changes and all of these things, but when you look at people who are either staying on VMware or leaving VMware, they don't cite cost as the issue.
Mm.
The issue is freedom. Do I want to have a multi-cloud, a hybrid cloud? Do I want to just stay in my private data center? Do I want to be locked into anyone's walled garden? These are the things people
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah.
But
And I think this is the thing with, again, any kind of like platforms that we have, no matter which vendor you're talking about, at the end of the day, it becomes a platform play. Where do you want to standardize on? There's always going to be, some silos that you might have. Hey, companies acquire this and that, or they grow with certain things organically. But by and large, when you look at large enterprises, they want to look at overall cost, overall standardization. That helps with cost, but also from an just ongoing operations perspective, skill set perspective, how do you make sure that what you have can be leveraged and then basically expanded more and more? And this is the kind of story that works for, it doesn't matter if it's, Broadcom or VMware or some of the other vendors, you want to make sure that you are able to provide the benefits of standardization while, and I was just having this conversation with a colleague earlier, while giving the folks who are doing the innovation the flexibility of being able to do that without feeling locked in, right? And that's exactly what we're striving to do when it comes to kind of VCF. And yes, we went through a whole bunch of changes in terms of bringing things together, which also, for the first
Focusing.
time, big focus. VMware, fantastic culture, but the thing that we lacked
Little
before was the focus on making
discipline.
sure it all works well together.
discipline, right?
Yeah.
There was a little ADD, if you will, entrepreneurial ADD.
Yes.
And and that's not a bad thing, but focus is a good thing. Now, we're here at KubeCon though, and people say, okay, hypervisor, Kubernetes. What's the connection? And if you're asking that, then you really don't understand, right? Containers, orchestration of containers have predominantly run on hypervisors from day one.
That's right.
VMware, pre-Broadcom, was a huge supporter
Yes,
of Kube,
absolutely.
of CNCF. They continue to be under Broadcom as well.
Yes.
Talk to us a little about that.
Yeah, so VMware has been involved with CNCF for the longest time, basically right from since inception pretty much.
Yep.
Got involved with Kubernetes right up front. And we've been, this is something that folks are actually surprised to hear that we've been, if you look at long-term Kubernetes projects, contributions by companies, we are the number 3. People are very surprised to think, oh, VMware, you guys have been that active? Yes, absolutely. And it's just that we never kind of talked about it,
No.
right? But then we've been right there
together
since the beginning. If this is again quoting CNCF statistics, it's been a top contributor. We've got a lot of people who are maintaining lots of kind of CNCF projects, Kubernetes. So the idea has been that we've not been like just the users of Kubernetes and incorporating it and making sure it works on our platform. We've been right there with the community, building it, helping to build it all this while. And we want to continue to do that in an even stronger way as we go forward, because as you think about core infrastructure, it doesn't matter you want to run applications on virtual machines or on containers, which predominantly, as you said, pretty much, everyone, including all the hypervisors, run your containers on Kubernetes on a virtualized environment. Everybody has their own kind of flavor. And because it brings a certain amount of benefits to be able to do that, all the isolation benefits, security, and all that kind of good stuff as well. And making sure that we provide this experience of running containers and Kubernetes as good as folks have enjoyed running virtual machines on a VMware environment, right? We've been always known for VMs. Of course, we're the market leader, no matter what metric you choose. And we're doing the same when it comes to containers and Kubernetes to provide that experience. And this is exactly where, as part of this VCF platform, I was talking about, the vSphere Kubernetes Service, or VKS, kind of comes in. We used to talk about this as a Tanzu service back in the day. And as we came into Broadcom, we moved all the Kubernetes and infrastructure pieces as part of VCF. Again, to that point of focusing, simplifying, providing a better experience to customers. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And so our Tanzu team is focusing very much on a PaaS environment, going directly to developers, while the VCF piece is working with platform engineers predominantly, and of course, our core kind of audience, the IT admins, the IT teams that have been running infrastructure. So that's kind of how the overall evolution has been. And there's so much more that we're now looking forward to do, because when you focus, you can do so many more things better versus just doing a whole bunch of things in an average way. So we're very excited about that.
I could see why, right? I could see that happening. So here's one thing we haven't mentioned, though, that's been a big thing, and that's AI.
Yes.
How is AI changing, influencing, showing itself in this ongoing evolution?
So we been involved when it comes to the AI space and providing the infrastructure for AI workloads for quite a long time. And we've been working with NVIDIA for more than a decade at this point in time to make sure that all the innovations from NVIDIA, for the GPUs, vGPUs, etc., are available as part of vSphere before, and then now VCF, of course. The other thing is, I forget when it was, but I think it might have been 2023. We kind of put our foot down and talked about private AI as a key piece. We basically said, hey, private AI is, again, not about like the location, but the concept of privacy of your data. AI in itself is all about massive amounts of data and where it resides. So we want to make sure that customers are able to get the insights from all that data without having to move the data around, keeping it within their boundaries, keeping it safe and secure. And again, if you folks have used vSphere or VCF, they understand the level of enterprise-grade security that comes with the platform. And so we are bringing the exact same thing to all AI workloads. And of course, when it comes to AI, you're deploying it using Kubernetes. You're deploying it on containerized. The applications are typically containerized. And so making sure that the experience we get for all our private AI services and capabilities that are all included in VCF with vSphere Kubernetes service as well. In fact, today at the KubeCon, CNCF announced the new Kubernetes AI conformance program. And we are one of the few
Really?
starting kind of conformant and certified platforms, VKS as part of that. So it kind of underlines the importance of AI in general and how we see at the end of the day, it's just another workload. And we want to make sure customers have all the tools available on the VCF platform to be able to use VKS, use our private AI services to build those applications that they do.
I think, Himanshu, we're running low on time, but one of the things I want to close with, and I'm directing it right to our audience, and you can look in that one when you respond, which is, look, VMware has always been a supporter of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, of Kubernetes, of containerized, of cloud native computing in general. Under Broadcom, that commitment is, if anything, stronger than ever and remains so today and tomorrow. And, anyone who says different doesn't know the truth.
Yeah, you just need to get educated. That's all. Just need to
It's an
learn more, figure it out, and they'll see the value. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for all you do. Thank you. It's a pleasure as always having you on. I hope we won't wait till the next KubeCon.
I would love to get in touch earlier and
Well, we
share
do
these
these every
conversations.
day out of the studio. All you got to do is write me.
Absolutely.
So it's on you.
Absolutely. It's on me.
All right. Himanshu Singh, Broadcom, VMware Broadcom,
VMware Broadcom.
the right term. Here on TechStrong, we're going to be back in just a minute.